Hey guys, what's up? This is Noorret. Welcome to the second ever NXB podcast. I'm here with my hosts, Payne and Classy. Thanks for joining us.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for coming up so late. Appreciate it.
Hey guys, always happy to be back on another episode.
So, a bunch of stuff to talk about today. As you guys see, there's a new events. There's a whole bunch of stuff that came out within the last couple days. But first, we're gonna pass it over to Payne because we have a couple little things we want to talk about before we start the podcast. So, Payne, go ahead.
Yeah, guys, just real quick, a couple of house rules because we've never done a podcast live, and normally I'm the only one here doing the live events. Because we have co-hosts, we have a couple different people, and we just want to say what's up to everybody. The house rules are simple: keep it clean, keep it friendly, keep it positive. A lot of discussions are going to happen between the three of us. We would love for you guys to jump on the live chat and discuss with us as well too. The main thing I want to say though is don't be toxic. I have a moderator here. The mods will keep track of everything to make sure people are in line. The only thing I want to say is please be part of the discussions, but keep it positive, keep it light. And remember, this is a good time. We're not here to have any problems. Outside of that, guys, please enjoy the rest of this podcast. Let's get into it.
Yeah, first thing first we're going to talk about is the Minato banner that just came out. So we want to talk about how Bandai is the biggest baiter that there is with these extra flags and these other units coming out. So how do you guys feel about these units?
Yeah, so here's the thing. So I've been hyping up Minato like crazy because I was pretty much hyped myself, right? I'm pretty sure the entire community was pretty hyped about Minato coming out. And I remember the first thing, Noorret, I said was on my first release of the Minato thing is, please, Bandai, do not do what you did to Akatsuki Itachi, the same thing to Minato. And what that essentially means, guys, is bring out a hype character that has a big name and then make him not what we expect.
He kind of is, though. He was supposed to be an A unit. He was the A unit
right.
that was promised, was he not?
Right, and that's exactly my point. So when I saw his kit, before we saw the ranking, or the rating for him, in terms of what type he was, I was like, for sure this guy's going to be dominating. For sure, 100%. It looked like an A kit. If we go from top to bottom, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys right now what I have in my Minato. From top to bottom, his kit screams A unit. And then I saw the T next to his name, and my jaw dropped.
Yeah,
and Right, exactly. And I mean, Classy, you were saying the same thing. You said you overshot him, right? And when the fact that you overshot him as an SSS character right from the get-go from his kit, and I was telling you this earlier, this is why I don't like to rate characters before testing them. And this T version is the reason why this character fails. Right?
Yeah, well, basically what happened was when I saw his kit with Minato, we were expecting an A unit as well, so we didn't actually know if he was a T unit or not back then. And then when I saw his kit, I was like, wait, this is kind of similar to Obito's kit in a way, like what his role is and how he boosts his own attack and boosts attack for all active allies. So if they made him an A unit, it'd be like Obito was bait, like they'd be the same character or a similar character.
Well, yes and no. Yeah, go ahead, Noorret, sorry.
I talked about it before. I mean, in jest, I was joking about how, Bandai's on their T unit hard on right now. Hopefully he's not a T unit. And then, that's what they actually did. So they literally still are on their T unit hard on.
Yeah, no, we've got more than enough at this point. I'm just doing a quick comparison for those watching my screen right now that can see, and the hosts as well too. They're side by side right now. Okay, so look at Obito and look at Minato. Okay, so I did a testing on both of these characters. I got Minato maxed out to 5 right away. I got all this maxed out here. The only thing I'm missing on him is the scrolls. Right, he's got 61 and he's got 72. So I mean, there's a difference there. He's got his LB2. Minato doesn't. So there's a couple differences there, but the damage difference is what really got me, right? Because the big thing with Minato that I loved about him is the skill Flying Raijin level 2 actually lowers the character's damage reduction rate first before doing the actual jutsu, which means you're going to be hitting harder right from the get-go from that alone, right? While Obito's actually does the jutsu first and then lowers the damage rate reduction by a higher rate. So ideally, you'd want Minato to do more because of that specific move, but when I was looking at the damage comparison, I was doing about 600k Minato, and I was doing 900k with Obito. So really, the best banner guys out right now, in my opinion, is Obito outside of Deidara and Sasori, of course. If you're and I've been saying this to a lot of new people, if you're jumping on here and you're pulling for this New Year's banner, you should be pulling for Sasori and Deidara. That's my opinion on it. And if you're going for Obito, you're crazy. I would wait for the extra fragment. Wait for the extra fragment at this point.
Also, also, this Minato, even though his animations are incredible and I think they're amazing, I do think that he is very similar to Sage Mode Naruto in the way that he stacks damage over time.
Yes.
He does end up doing a crap load of damage, but over time.
Right. He is a build-up character, and I totally agree. The only big difference between the two, and I give SMN a little more credit than him, is I'm just going to go to SMN real quick, guys. For a lot of you don't know, one thing Minato lacks is crit rate. The good thing with SMN is he actually does crit rate from the get-go, like Hebi. So he gives himself 55% crit rate before doing his jutsu. So that alone puts him ahead of the competition because of that. That's what kind of gives Hebi that edge up as well, too, on his jutsu, right? So if they gave this to him instead of the damage rate reduction, I would have preferred this any day. Crit rate is the most dominant, crit damage is the most dominating thing in this game for overall damage in general. So this would have been what Minato should have looked like, in my opinion.
So if we were to compare him to something in a popular culture, for all you older folks, if you remember Pokemon Silver and Gold, the milk tank in the second gym, that's kind of what Minato and Sage Mode Naruto are. They got that rollout feature.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It just seems like they ran out of ideas. Like, honestly, they just released this Obito banner, and then they released the Epic Frags banner, and then all of us thought that those were two bait banners, but it turns out that they were actually the better banners, and this was the bait banner. And they just released a unit that had basically no new kit and something that was very similar to one of the units that was released like a week before. And even like an SR, like Kid Kakashi, has the more interesting kit than he does, which is just really sad.
But Minato does have the thing unique to him. He does have that debuff for 4 damage, which is kind of cool. I really like that.
I will say this, guys. Here's the problem with this whole Minato release. Okay, so yes, he is not as good as Obito. Yes, he's not as unique as Obito in terms of his damage. He does have a good kit. It's just he's the wrong type. The problem with Minato as well is, and I was saying this right when Obito and Kakashi came out, if you don't have Obito and Kakashi, you are gimping yourself from link bonus. This was a complete guess on my end, and that's exactly what happened. So not only are they forcing you, if you want Minato to be maximized, you're going to have to get Obito as well to and kick Kakashi. And that's a huge problem. Like, you're forcing people to pull on 2 banners back to back. And this game is littered with free-to-play players. So that's extremely unfair to Bandai to expect for both of these guys to be able to be summonable. They should have at least put one of them in the shop. One of them should have 100% been on the shop for people to spend on. Because now you're forcing people like myself and Shiny, for example, in our video collab. He did 50k, still hasn't got him. I had to do 65k to get Obito. That's ridiculous. Ain't no free-to-play player going to be able to do that and then go to Minato and be like, yeah, I'm going to get him as well. It's just crazy.
When I saw how many coins they gave for units, I really thought that they were giving one of them for free. Because I was like, oh, they gave us what? I think 1,000? That's for UR. I'm pretty sure they're giving us one. It's pretty surprised when they didn't give us either Minato or Obito.
Yeah. But at least the upside here is, yes, the character isn't the greatest, but we have a pretty incredible celebration back to back. I will say this about Bandai: like, they did give us a lot of resources and a lot of cool new things. Like the UR weapon boxes is probably my favorite new thing that they've added.
I limit broke everyone.
Me too, absolutely. I don't know if you guys went through your list and also upgraded. Like, I got my Heavy's weapon up. So the only thing I kind of hate is the fact that they didn't add Minato's weapons, but I'm glad they added Obito. That was a solid for us.
He's really useful in Flashback genealogy.
Yeah, absolutely.
They also released the Obito and Kid Kakashi's weapon fragments early, so you can get those right.
Yeah, that's what I mean, exactly. So they did us a solid by doing that, right? So they at least gave us that aspect of it. And for those guys watching, I'm actually going to show you Minato's damage here. For a lot of you who haven't seen it yet at a high level, I'm going to show you guys what a 70k Minato does on just a quick elite mission, okay? So yeah, I honestly, guys, like, for those, a lot of people have been commenting, especially on my channel, about like, should I pull for Minato? And honestly, a couple days ago, I was saying absolutely, he looks fantastic. But now I'm like, no, pull. The only person you guys should be pulling on is the Sasori and Datara banner if you don't have them, and just hold off for extra fragments for Obito, because it's way too late into the game now to get his fragments. And don't waste your time on Minato. Honestly, Minato is not a link bonus to anybody that I just mentioned. He will be a link bonus to a future character that's probably going to be OP. So you will need him eventually, but you can pull him from extra fragments and not waste your Shino coins on this banner right now. That's just my suggestion to everybody. Honestly, that's take that with however you will.
Yeah, I'm calling it here first. Bandai, they're masturbators.
Yeah, there's a pun intended there, guys. It's not a literal term.
Dude, there's a space between master.
Yes, and Bader spelled differently. All right, let's just make that clear here before YouTube finds out that someone said that on here. But yeah, I agree with you.
Also, some people said my input volume was like kind of low.
Yeah, I put it up for you.
All right.
Yep, I put it from 93 to 127. So you guys, can somebody let me know if you guys can hear Classy now?
Yeah, Phantom, no, we're not live. This is all pre-recorded, and we also pre-recorded this message when you called us out. Thanks, Phantom.
Phantom is actually the mod, by the way. So he's good to go. Yeah, so let me show you guys. Here we go. So, sorry, guys. Keep the conversation rolling. I'm just going to do a damage here with Minato. You guys can kind of see what he's all about. So here, we're going to roll this. I'm going to go 2 speed here. Actually, maybe we'll do, 2. Here we go. Let's see what he does, okay? So right now, I'm averaging about 600k. And, okay, so so there's 427. I mean, that's nothing. That is nothing for a power creep character. 427 on an elite mission is kind of sad. So we're going to go ahead and show you guys now the actual tribe as well, too. Now, this tribe actually does hit fairly hard, I will say this, because they're all 3 UR characters for me.
Yeah, I'm just really happy to get that. Remember we talked about it before? Like, if they did it all triple UR, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the problem, though, is let's talk about the flashback genealogy. I want to bring this up because how much hate I have for it. First off, Master Level 2 is fantastic. I'm happy they delivered that because some of the top players were talking about, like, hey, you know what? We're lacking some heavy content, right? Because it used to be so difficult to finish an FG in an Abyss. So I'm really happy they've done that. The problem is, why the hell would you release Naruto SR as a character? Why would you not introduce Naruto UR? Give us a 3-star. All brand new people playing this should have got a free 3-star Naruto UR, and here's a way to get the frags for him. Like, that's the perfect way to have done this. So why would you release a character that you give 5-star for free right from the get-go, and then now you're giving us an obscene amount of Narutos? Like, I don't understand Bandai's thought process on this.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like they basically, they're releasing UR one time, Naruto, and it's like, the only reason to own him is to flex on the people who only have the SR one. That's basically what he's for. Yeah,
exactly. It just makes no sense to me. So, like, I'm really hoping for the new players, who are jumping on here and are excited to get their Naruto SR up. I'm happy for you guys because new players deserve this. And I feel like, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, I feel like this whole event has been catered for new players more than veterans because the 3.5k Shino coins that everyone's been waiting for has also now been announced only for new players, right? So you kind of screwing over your veteran players quite a bit, which kind of sits salty for a lot of people.
And they've also been expanding servers like really fast. I think we're at 29
Yeah,
now.
which is okay though. That's okay because they know they were expecting a lot of people to come join the game after Minato dropped, which was the case, right? So, but yeah, I don't know. Honestly, guys, I'm happy about this event. I'm not happy about the way Minato turned out. He's still a good character. I'd even go as far as saying he's a great character. He's just not what we wanted and what we expected. This again just rings true with the Itachi situation.
Basically, our feelings on him was that we thought he was going to be timeless, kind of like how the original Kakashi's timeless. Like he's going to be used forever because of the damage output.
Right.
Hebi is also timeless. Minato, as more characters come out, he is going to be situational, kind of like Haku. Like, you pull out Haku when we have a T-unit flashback genealogy. He's not going to be timeless.
Yeah, when the crazy thing about Haku is he's a better character to use because he's a better support overall. So anyways, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. And, a lot of people were saying, I can't believe he doesn't have a tribe with Boruto. And we're going to talk about Boruto in a second, guys, but that was another thing people are upset about is, like, why would you put Naruto and Jiraiya with him? Why would you not have something like Kid Kakashi, Obito, maybe even Kakashi himself, like something that would be cooler for a lot of people to look at. So there was that whole situation as well, too, where people weren't happy with the fact that he came out with just Naruto and Jiraiya as a tribe. And the tribe itself, I mean, it's a good tribe. It has defense and offense, but I do agree. Kid Kakashi and Obito, if they're part of your link bonus, they should have had some sort of tie-in. And honestly, they should have just brought it the Jonin version. I don't like that they went straight to the Hokage version.
It might still happen, though.
Oh, no, for sure.
Happen because when Rin gets released, I wouldn't be surprised if they have, like, kind of a triple with them, and then they might mix or match.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe they bring a 4-person thing. Who knows?
Right.
Where's my mask ban at?
Yeah, that's true. Right, but it was the Hokage that fought him, right? Not the Jonin version.
Yeah, it was Hokage.
Yeah, so
let's also.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Noorret.
Oh, let's talk about also how tribes. When do we think tribes is going to catch up to the manga? We're regarding characters and stuff.
You're talking about manga as in like Naruto manga, or are we talking about like Boruto manga, like already up to this point?
Boruto manga. Like,
yeah.
We can talk about where do we think we're at the moment, and how long until we reach what Boruto's at?
We're like at the first few chapters, like when he first fights Momoshiki, and he didn't even know his karma yet, right?
I mean, like, aren't we there yet with that technically? Like, the whole Naruto and Boruto release, that technically was the Momoshiki fight, right?
Yeah, that was
right.
exactly it.
Pretty early in, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And this is a good point. I think all three of us were discussing this last week, right? And the fact that, so for a lot of people that don't know, so let's bring up Blazing, rest in peace Blazing in February, and the people that covered it. But Blazing never had the license to cover.
Already.
Right. And they never had the license to actually cover Boruto stuff, right? So Blazing never got the ability to actually see a lot of the Boruto characters, or maybe even any. But for Voltage, for example, that does have the Boruto license, I think we went and investigated. There's maybe, a handful of characters from Boruto, right? I think a handful, maybe 5 or 6. And then I think right.
Same ones we have here.
Right, exactly. So the question is, why? Like, I know Naruto's the more popular of the mangas, I get it, but like at this point, if you're gonna mix and match Boruto and Naruto, it's time to start bringing in some of the other Boruto characters, because I think Tribes should be the first game that breaks into that universe a lot more than the other games have. Because right now, with the manga going the way it's going, the anime catching up to it, Boruto's becoming a really good anime. Like, it's starting to pick up a lot in terms of storyline, and a lot of us complaining the fact that there's not enough rares in this game. For many of us veterans especially, rares are used for speed. My whole theory on it was, why not bring all the classmates from Boruto into this game and make them all rares? You open up a variety of characters that people love and new players would want to use, and a lot of people who want to challenge are actually doing that right now. They're using rare characters, building them up, and trying to see how far they can get in the game. So guys, like, my opinion, Tribe should be the first game that gets into that Boruto universe.
Yeah, I mean, it's called Naruto X Boruto, and it ends up being Naruto X Sasuke.
Right, exactly. On a constant basis, too. So, yeah, I don't know. Like Momoshiki would be a perfect villain to bring out, right? But I don't know where he stands in the mecha. If you compare Momoshiki, like, who would he compare to in the Boruto universe? Like, what is he? He's the equivalent of who? Pain, we'd say?
Momoshiki? Well, according to the manga, he's way bigger than that. If you're up to date, Momoshiki is actually I think regarding this last chapter,
which we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we are going to talk about it, but we're not going to get too into it right now. We're going to give you guys an ample spoiler warning so you can cover your delicate ears.
Yeah, and real quick, sorry guys, sorry, Nerd. Real quick, guys, we will tell you guys that we are going to give you a warning. We'll give you a 5-second warning about the spoilers. So if you don't want to stick around for this session, please, we're going to be talking about Chapter 53, which is the last Boruto thing. So sorry, Nerd, just interrupt. I just want to give everybody a heads up, okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think Momoshiki is going to play a way bigger part than we anticipate.
I mean,
he's probably going to be one of the final villains, or the main villains, I think.
Well, I mean, for the fact that he's using... Okay, so again, if you guys aren't caught up here, I'm giving you spoiler alert now. Actually, no, I wouldn't even say that. We're not going to talk about who the vessel is. The fact that he has a vessel, that's an important vessel in this arc, probably the most important vessel, and what's happened to this point, yeah, he's got to stick around for a while, right? So, like, all I care about is that they bring the character in that fight to this game. I'm not talking about the Momoshiki that we're seeing up to... Right. Just bring him to them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just bring that character, because then you open up the possibility. But then here's the thing. I think the thought process here, guys, is Kaguya needs to come out first before all of these characters come out, just because they all fall in line with her. So I don't think we're going to see these characters until we see a Kaguya come out first. That's my whole perspective on the the Boruto villains. Until we see that, we may see some of the other people like the swordsman, the 7 Mist swordsmen, or people like that came out from the anime. But I don't know if we'll see like those bigger villains until Kaguya is out of the way.
Do you feel if they bring the shitty Momoshiki from the movie instead of the manga one?
Yeah, honestly, that could work. That
character model is so disgusting.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree.
Yeah,
And
the design was not very good.
No, I know. But
like somebody read the manga was like, he needs to be spookier.
Yeah, exactly. Someone wasn't satisfied with how much he was scaring the kids in the original manga.
Give him more horror.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree with you. But that's the thing, though. Like, we need to start getting into the Boruto universe. Like, it's nice and fun to have 19 Sasukes and 25 Narutos, but at this point, like, we've got a whole other world to look into, right? And Tribes is such a small game right now, and if it wants to be ahead of like Voltage and stuff, it needs to start bringing in characters that are unique, that's not introduced in other games.
or they could release 3 more Sasuke's and get
Or exactly. We get Taka Sasuke, Rin Sasuke, and we get other Sasuke's going here. And with that being said, so we talked about the spoilers, guys. You guys want to talk about the chapter? Because I'm excited to talk about it, but I'm also a little bit curious about Classy and his theories, because I went onto main Discord yesterday, and a lot of people have been like, yo, we talked to Classy about it. Like, there's a whole group of us, and we have all these theories we want to talk about. So, Classy, do you want to talk about this chapter?
Sure.
Okay.
53.
Yes, hold on. This is the spoiler warning, guys. We're giving you 5 seconds. If you have not read Boruto Chapter 53 and you don't want to hear spoilers and you want to read it yourself, your 5-second countdown starts now. I'm going to start counting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've been amply warned. Classy, go ahead.
Alright, so the last thing we saw on Chapter 53 was Boruto stabbing Sasuke's Rinnegan. And it's unclear whether he destroyed it or not, but for the purposes of this theory, I'm going to assume he did, just by stabbing through his eye. And for Naruto, he's on the ground right now and he can barely move after using his nuclear fusion mode with Kurama. And the first thing I was going to talk about in the theory was that Kurama lied to him about his special mode. So he said they were both going to die, but I think only Kurama is going to die here.
Ooh.
And the reason he lied was because Naruto wouldn't have accepted it if only he was going to die.
That's an interesting theory. That's a
cool theory. But also, I also think that this was all a plot thing too, because the reason why you had to get rid of the Rinnegan is because of the Rinne rebirth. So I think that the writer is like, hey, everyone thinks that Naruto's not going to die because Sasuke can just Rinne rebirth him. And like, goodbye, Rinnegan.
Exactly.
It's the way to get out of the plot.
Plot devices, yeah.
So here's a funny thing about that. So, Classy, I love that theory about Naruto and Kurama, but everybody knows that Uzumaki clan have an extended life cycle, and their healing powers are uncanny, and they're like the perfect vessels for these Nine Tails. So is it possible that a normal shinobi would have died, another kind of vessel, but because he's an Uzumaki clan, that they just don't die from this? Is that a possibility? Because I was looking into that a little bit. I'm like, like Kushina, for example, like she gave birth to Naruto while controlling the Nine Tails inside of her. Like, that's not easy. Y'all, if any of you guys have kids and you've seen your wife give birth, that shit is not easy. So, like, to do that and to hold the Nine Tails in you and be able to survive for long enough to actually give birth to your child, that's crazy. So to me, I don't know, maybe it's just Naruto's bloodline, that allows him to not die here. So I was thinking that was one method. And regarding Sasuke, like, we've seen throughout Naruto Shippuden up to this point, he's just been using his chakra eye techniques nonstop. And it's about time they've kind of given him the weakness that comes along with that, because we know how much it drains chakra, we know how much it takes out a person's life away. So, like, at this point, in my opinion, it's about time. Like, I hate to say this because I love Sasuke as a character, but it's about time we see some sort of a big impact in the show. Sasuke would be a perfect person to go. And not only that, but the way Boruto did it while he was a vessel was exactly how Sasuke stabbed Momoshiki's eye in the fight. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
I also had a big discussion with people in my alliance. Well, way back when we first talked about this, and they all said, no, they're not going to do my boy Sasuke like that. But I've been saying it for a while now. First off, the first thing I want to say is, how many appendages is it going to take from Sasuke until they stop?
Oh man, I know. Poor War Amps guy, man.
And secondly, my theory long term is how they, whenever somebody says they want to be Hokage in the show, most of the time they end up Hokage, like Naruto and stuff like that. Also, so my theory is Sarada as a character. I feel like Sasuke is gonna die for her to get her Mangekyo Sharingan, because you have to experience extreme pain to lose a loved one. So I think that's how she's gonna end up getting it. And Sasuke's not gonna die soon. But I think that's how she's going to get it, because Sasuke's going to die. There's no way he's going to live, because his character is, right now, how he's set up, he's a sacrificial character, because he just wants the best of the village to atone for the sins that he's made.
I forgot to mention, but what I said was actually only 1 out of 10 of what I wrote. So, yeah.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Keep going, man.
I'll cut this short, but it's something that I talked about late into the night with some of my friends. And I think Leon Lyons here right now, and he was someone I talked to this about. And I think this may be slightly influenced by what I would like to see in a new manga, because obviously they don't want to make this the same thing as Naruto. So, so we left off at Naruto like being extremely weakened and Sasuke losing his Rinnegan, as I'm assuming. And what I think is going to happen next is, since Borushiki is like out and about right now, his goal originally was to take the Nine Tails from Naruto, but he doesn't know that the Nine Tails is actually dying right now. So he's going to attack Naruto, and Sasuke is going to sacrifice himself to protect Naruto. And then Boruto is going to snap out of Borushiki because he killed Sasuke. And like he's going to have like extreme loss over this because he killed the one person that he was looking up to more than Naruto. And as a result, Naruto first of all loses his power because Kurama dies. Sasuke dies, so he basically loses all of his power, and this allows for the new generation to take over the reins of the story now that the old characters have been weakened or killed off. And Boruto is going to be so traumatized that he'll probably try to leave the village, as well as take Momoshiki with him, because he knows that Momoshiki wants to take the Nine Tails away from Naruto.
So are you saying that? Sorry to cut you off, classes. Are you saying though? So Boruto's essentially following the path of Sasuke?
Yeah, it's going to be like Sasuke retrieval arc eventually, but it's Boruto retrieval arc.
It also makes sense. It is cool if Naruto ends up without powers, because it sets it up perfectly, because one of the main things about the beginning of Boruto was how he was a distant father. So him losing his powers makes him become the ultimate father, because he wouldn't have powers, he wouldn't be able to fight the same village.
But the ultimate father to who though? Kawaki or to Boruto? Because right now we know how close they are together. His sister? Oh man, I don't know. So I guess you could be right. Yeah. But I mean, like, Kawaki's been such a close part of this whole story now, being a vessel to Ishiki, right? So like, I don't know. Like, this is crazy to me. The whole thing is this is now becoming like a Game of Thrones theory speculations episode, yeah. Right? Like everyone has their theories.
It's also crazy how they just killed Ishiki. Like, you thought he was the main villain. So long, guy.
Yeah. Do you actually think he's dead though? Do we actually think he's dead?
He's dead. He's done. Yeah, he's done. He's done.
So the crazy part is when they were showing the flashbacks, he had controlled so many people along the way of this, and to finally just come out and be that powerful, but then have a 5-minute timer before he passes like that, I don't know, just seems such a cop-out way to kill him.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
I don't think he was expecting to be outdone like that. I think, you know what it is? It makes sense because he was so cocky, and he had never been, pushed to this limit. He said it. How many times in this battle did he say, "I've never been pushed this far. I've never been pushed this far," and then at the end he lost, and he's like, "Well, I guess he got me."
Yeah, no, true. Classy, if you want to keep going with your theories, bro, all you, man. You can do whatever you want with that one.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the probability of something like this happening, I'm not sure, but I think it's interesting, at least. So, now that Boruto is trying to get him and Momoshiki away from the village, we have Kawaki, who people thought was going to be like some sort of anti-hero based on like what they saw of him and Boruto fighting and all those flashbacks, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But I think this will leave Kawaki as the main protagonist instead, and leave Boruto as the antagonist, which is interesting because the manga is titled Boruto, and instead we're going to have a manga from the eyes of a villain, kind of like Death Note, where you see through the eyes of a villain instead of the hero. Mm-hmm. So, also, when we saw Kawaki and Boruto fighting in that flashback where they were both on the Hokage mountain, we saw Kawaki have his karma, and also, noticeably, during that flashback, they never showed who was on whose side. They only showed that Boruto was on the village side and Kawaki was blocking him, and I think he was blocking him from leaving the village. And as for the karma getting back, I think he gets those powers back from Amato the scientist, because Amato was asking him how he felt powerless earlier, and he kind of just didn't respond, and I feel like that's kind of a foreshadowing of him getting his powers back. But funnily enough, he's getting these powers back so he can save Boruto and the village.
Right. Yeah, and I agree with that theory. I think that's the most plausible theory, just from all the flashbacks, the flashback that we saw, and now where they are in the storyline. I think that's a very plausible way to go at this point. All right, guys. So let's because we're at the 30-minute mark. We're already halfway there. Let's just keep going here on the topics because we want to bog this down, and we'll come back to this on the Q&A section, guys, because I know there's a lot of people that want to talk about this, so we'll definitely come back. Next topic we had was what? Speed, right?
Hey kiddies, you want to talk about some speed?
Some speed essay. Yeah, speed. We're not talking about the drug, guys. I know that came off wrong, and I apologize for anyone offended. But we're talking about speed in terms of the game speed and where we're at. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys where I'm at. I'm going to skip this. I'm going to show you guys the competition here in terms of where everybody else is at. And we're going to talk about how fair or unfair speed is in the game and what it's doing to the game itself, especially from a PvP perspective. Okay, so quickly, let me jump on here. You guys are watching my screen. This is a semi-flex, maybe not. I don't even know what this is really. But here we go. We'll go to the trophy for a second. And if you guys don't know how to look at your speed, you go to your Shinobi Unlocked. It'll tell you how many Shinobi you have. Right beside it, you're going to see your speed. So there's mine, right? 45K, 35K, 30, 20. I mean, most of these people were at like 9, 10K, and everyone's boosted up, except for this guy here, and this guy. And JJ there is 39K with 70 Shinobi. So I mean, speed has done a lot for this game in the past. Where if people understood how to use it properly, how to level it up, it gave you a leg up on the competition, right? But it was also really hard to get because Ryo was a very, very scarce thing that we had. Now it's become easily to get with the Rin Festival, and speed has skyrocketed. So what do we think, guys? Like, I personally think this was a bad call from Bandai, and I think they need to restart speed altogether and maybe take speed out as a concept and maybe put in like base speed for characters only, and then have team building be the main thing.
I've had these thoughts for a while about speed, and it's because everyone's so set on having the highest power in the game, because it is on the top left at all times showing you your power. But the game is not, when you play PvP, it is not based on your power. The ranking goes like this: whoever's faster normally tends to win. Then the second factor is your power, what units you're using and the power.
I take that back, actually. I don't think power is the second factor. I think stun is the second factor.
No, I was about to say, I think stun is the third one.
Yeah.
I think because even with speed, if you, like, for instance, just say you're at 200k and you fight somebody who's at 300k, you're probably not going to beat them if you're slow, if you're faster, because the 100k speed. Like, at the top of the table, like, when you're all, like, close to maxed out, like, 20k is nothing when you have speed. Like, I'm talking, like, bigger gaps of power.
Yeah.
So and stuns would be the third factor, because I don't stuns are status effects, I want to say, because there's not that many stuns anymore. There's more, I want to say status effects from other people. Dude, but it's speed. It's all about speed right now.
Yeah. And PvP... sorry, go ahead, Classy.
Yeah, I mean, based on what I've seen, I can beat people with like 100k power for me if I have the right speed. And I just think that as somebody who like really likes team building and strategy, I think that just ruins the whole point of building teams in general. Like, the fact that whatever you build might not even matter if they just outspeed you makes team building feel a lot weaker. And for other gacha games like Seven Deadly Sins, they have a mode where like there's PvP without gear and there's PvP with gear. And I feel like if we had something like that, that could make it more fair as well, like PvP with speed and PvP without speed. So you can better judge how your team building actually is instead of just wailing.
So here's the thing, like, PvP in general needs a rehaul. Like, I know this is not a topic we wanted to bring up, but I'm just going to say it. PvP in general, Tribes is the worst of any of the NXB things for PvP in terms of what it offers. If they introduce live PvP, that'd be great. But that still doesn't fix the problems, right? You're still going to face people who are faster than you. No matter how much times you want to strategize and put strategies together, if you get one shot because you're slower, it doesn't solve any problems. So live PvP is one way to look at it, but it doesn't make the game any more fun unless they fix the core factor, which is speed. That needs to be adjusted and just changed in general. And I think speed needs to be removed from NWT altogether. Like, NWT is a whole different animal of problems, but speed in that is also such a big issue. So PvP in general, in my opinion, guys, just needs a rehaul. This game is such a PvE-oriented game now that the rewards in PvP aren't even worth it anymore.
I think NWT should get removed altogether, and then they should bring in some sort of PvP that is, I don't know, for all the Blazing players out there, I don't know if you guys remember how the PvP worked on there. It was speed-based, but it felt a little bit more fair. The only thing with Blazing was that their connection issues were trash. But aside from that, I think Blazing had a pretty good PvP.
Yeah, I don't remember Blazing's PvP.
for my thoughts on what they should do about PvP, I was thinking they might just want to remove speed bonuses and just keep base.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Exactly. I agree with you.
That would actually make people like the Forto Baikage and Shio probably meta, just because they can affect people's speeds. Just fun.
Yeah, then that'd be cool. Like if the only way you can speed up is if you have characters like Chio and other characters that modify speed, like Kakashi's skill 2 would actually matter. The OG Kakashi is the only skill 2 that I don't have past level 1, because he boosts his speed by 15. But I mean, if base speed was the only speed you had, that would matter, right? So like you'd want that to. So that's the way to do it. You build characters that boost speed. All of a sudden, the dynamic. Oh my god, I stuttered so much. The dynamic of the game changes, as will the characters you use, because people would be using Chio. People would use other characters that have speed boosting abilities. Even if it's 1 speed, it'll make a difference, right? So absolutely, I think that needs to change. And I don't think they're ever going to do it. It's just people have invested way too much into speed. So I don't know what the fix here is, guys. Like offering the Rin Festival and all this access to Ryo just made the gap even bigger than it was before.
So let's talk about the main issues of speed. Whaling, the whale boys.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably talking to 2 whales now, and you have a free-to-play player in Classy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing.
Fellow whales, rise up.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a whale noise, but I made one for you there. He's been looking for whale noises. I had to make one. Sorry, guys. That sounded like maybe a pigeon even.
Video coming soon, please?
Yeah. So whales versus F2P in this game. Here's the thing. Here's my thought process on this. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because PvP is such a small aspect of this game that whaling here doesn't hurt the F2P factors in this game as much, because I feel like whales are helping the game, first off, stay alive. And secondly, you guys are getting, like, we're helping test a lot of the new units or when they come out, and we're able to give strategies and things like that. So I think whaling in this game is actually very friendly. And you guys have met a lot of the whales, and we aren't like egotistical people for the most part. None of us rub it in.
Some stuff.
Yeah, so exactly. Right.
It's mostly good. It's okay.
It is.
In terms that some people understand, it's chaotic good.
Yeah, exactly. So my thing, like, and Class, you can jump in anytime you want on this, because I know you're a free to play player and you may see things differently. But to me, like, if we go to Arena for a second, guys, I'm just gonna show you how stupid this is. For a whale, for example, if I wanted to benefit from a PvP game in whale, for the sake of my own benefit here, if you guys have not seen the PvP rewards and you're at the top of the level of the PvP, after total reward points 2 million, you get nothing. I'm sitting here collecting dust with this. Like, what is the point of this? Right? So, like, I'm going to be double this by the time anything happens. Maybe even triple this by the time anything happens. So, like, as a whale, I'm not getting any benefit from whaling in this regard. I'm not affecting anyone else's gameplay. I'm only helping my alliance, and I'm helping the community as a whale. So, in my opinion, guys, whaling in tribes is not a bad thing. I don't recommend doing it for players, because I think this is such a free-to-play friendly game now, where you don't need to whale. And I think the problem with a lot of people is, like, everybody wants to be a collector. Everybody wants to be owning every shinobi in the game. But the truth of the matter is, you only use up to, like, 10 shinobi max, and they rotate. So, like... Yeah. Being a collector isn't smart in this game, because you're not really getting much. Just get the link bonuses for your characters that matter, and then move on.
You're investing, man. You're investing those points. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. You're investing.
You're investing.
I'm technically not a free to play. I think I'm like a shark or something.
You're a shark?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have a list, guys. Just so you know, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's for completely free to play, you're a fish sperm. If you spend a penny or up to $10, you're a fish egg. If you spend $10 to $50, you're a baby fish. If you spend 50 to 100, you're a dolphin. 100 to 500, shark. 500 to 1,000, whale shark. 1,000 to 5 grand, a whale. A big whale is 5 to 10 grand, and a mega whale is 10 to 50 grand. I'm not gonna go above that because there's no one that's spending.
Nobody's going that high.
And if you have F in chat, please.
But
yeah,
they do a good job of capping what whales can do, like, relative to affecting other players' gameplay. Besides speed, like, I still don't like speed at all.
Yeah, I think that was a factor that a lot of people talked about in the beginning, right? Speed was something that a lot of people who are free-to-play players felt was ruining the game, and I agree with them. Like, as a whale, I even agree with them. Like, it's something that was unnecessary, but the problem is every gacha is built the same. you look at any gacha. Look, it can be RPGs to anime gachas, could be fantasy gachas. If speed is in the game, it is usually the meta in PvP. That's just a fact. It's just how it's built. And Tribes isn't remolding or rebuilding the model. They're just literally carbon copying other games that are out there that have this exact same issue. And speed is it cripples PvP, in my opinion. So the way for my opinion, for Tribes to fix this, take away everyone's speed. Put base speed, put characters that increase speed and decrease speed, and give all of our resources back that we spent in another form of some sort, whether it's Ryo or potions or whatever the heck it may be, and then make it start from scratch. And we'll see who actually knows the play of the game better, right? A lot of people claim that they're expert team builders. A lot of people claim that if it wasn't for speed, they would dominate. But, that this way it'll allow people to actually showcase that.
I really don't think that they're going to refund everything. I think it's too far gone with some servers and some people that are invested into speed. I think it's too far gone. The only thing they can do is probably introduce a new mode that gets rid of speed. That would be the smartest way. I really don't think they're capable of refunding all
No,
that.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
Since this event started, I've been dropping 110 million every day.
Same with me. I agree with you. No, and that's a good point. Like, let this be the legacy PvP. Let's call it that, right? Like the old school characters. Make a new power creep PvP. Yeah, exactly. And take away speed as a factor and put something else in. And that could be the way to go. I mean, it's a great way to introduce something new as content, and at the same time, don't fix something that's already broken. So, good way to do it.
I want a live draft mode.
Oh, which one?
Where you can pick.
Oh, right.
Characters that you don't even have, so it allows people to be more
like a training ground, kind of.
Yeah, like you take turns picking characters with your opponent, and then you all their battle.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, so
that'd be cool.
So at the end of the day, what do you guys think? Whaling okay in Tribes, or I think it's personally okay. I honestly don't see the harm in Tribes to whale because it's such a PvE oriented game. It's gotten to the point to me where it's like Dokkan, where there's no PvP in my mind. I just do the matches just to get the Shino coins and I move on.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think whaling affects this game as it doesn't. Like, it's not like, for instance, other games where if you spend money, you have an advantage with like winning, because you could have all the speed and somebody could have just better comp and it could beat you, because you could lose to people who have lower speed than you if they have a better comp than you. You don't know how to build a team. So
there are bad whales. There are whales that get hunted.
yeah, they stay towards the top.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I have 2 accounts, and to be honest, I still have fun playing on both. Like the alt account that I have, that's completely free to play, and I have more than enough currency in there too, and that's all free to play. So I think it's okay. I mean, it keeps the game afloat, and it's not that bad. Right.
No, I agree. All right, let's move on here, guys. Anybody? What was the next topic? Anybody remember?
Yeah. So we're gonna move a little bit away from Ninja Tribes since this is all over the news. How do you guys feel about Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah. Wow. So here's a funny little story. So I had that pre-ordered on the PlayStation 4 console, and I was like sitting there, and I'm thinking, you know what? I don't have time to play this game, so I'm gonna cancel my pre-order. And thank God I did, because what a headache. So this is kind of what scares me about games that come out with this much hype, right? And this kind of falls into, if we want to compare it to Tribes, kind of falls into the Minato thing too, where he came out with so much hype and he was lackluster. Cyberpunk came out and everybody got a refund on PS4, so I'm kind of glad I didn't. I hear the game is not bad for certain consoles, like the new PS5 and PC, but yeah, man, what a disaster. What a freaking disaster. Like, I would hate, like, especially, Project Red, right? I think that's the company name? CD Project Red?
CG Project Red, yeah.
Right, who are massive now because of the Witcher series, and I love the Witcher. I played every single Witcher series. I finished them all. Everything about them was amazing. So the fact that they have that kind of power in their name and they brought out this kind of crap kind of pissed me off. So not a fan of it, and I apologize to anybody who went through this. It really sucked to have a refund done on this, but yeah, man, I don't know. I hope something like that never happens here.
For instance, with Cyberpunk, I have it on PC, and I'm having issues. Well, it's just because of my video card. I have a 1080, so it's a little bit older, that I'm having issues with that. But aside from that, the game looks beautiful. It's just that the problem with people is that everyone's so used to, and this is on us too as customers, because we agree with companies, even though you don't speak to them, you agree with your wallet, and by buying the game in this unfinished state, you're basically telling them, I'm okay with this. So when it's been a while now. It's been for years now. All these games come out, and if you don't play online, you don't get that day one patch. So you get an unfinished game, and we're so used to getting unfinished games that people are just allowing it. And this game was clearly unfinished on PS4 and Xbox.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what I've started to realize, guys, is like a lot of marketing companies are now becoming coming to the forefront. Like marketing back in the day was pretty straightforward. When I was a kid, for example, when Legend of Zelda came out, it was just a guy rapping about Legend of Zelda, and they showed gameplay in the back end, right? Simple times. Easy. You know what you were getting. Now with the marketing that's happening with video games, you just never know what you're getting. You never know. What was that game with that came out by the guy who created Metal Gear Solid? The one that everyone was hyped about. I forgot what it's called.
Death Stranding.
Thank you, Death Stranding. So I bought that as well too. Super hyped because I love the Metal Gear Solid series, and I was like, I cannot wait to play this.
Simulator.
Right. So I was like, what the hell did I just buy? I played it for like an hour. I'm like, this is the worst thing. Like, listen, graphically phenomenal, beautiful game. Concept was interesting, but my God, like the marketing that came with that was so good. All the characters, all the actors involved, and no, that's the same thing that happened with Cyberpunk. Keanu Reeves was all over the game, right? So like everybody thought like, if Keanu Reeves is in it, you know, he usually has good roles. So, you know, this got to be a pretty good game. It's made by a really good company. The marketing just blew it out of the water, and then people get the game, and this is what happens. So now I'm becoming very stereotypical about gaming in general. Like, I don't now trust reviews. It's kind of like movies now. I don't go to Rotten Tomatoes anymore because I don't trust reviews. What people think is Oscar worthy, I look at them like, yo, am I just blind or deaf? Am I watching the same thing these guys are rating? It's kind of becoming the same thing with games now, where things are just getting weird. Right, I just miss the simple times. I miss the simple times.
Angry Birds 2 should have won the Oscar, to be honest.
Yeah. So for those that don't know what Cyberpunk is, Google it. It's all over the news for gaming. It's everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere. You guys want to know?
I've been trying to ignore like the mainstream stuff nowadays because those games just cost so much. I don't feel like spending that much money.
Oh, don't worry. Single player games, this is my advice to people. If you're buying a game like Death Stranding, Cyberpunk, games that are predominantly single player and you play on console, give it 6 months, go to GameStop or whatever video game stores around you, it'll be like $15.
Yeah.
Give it like 6 months.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
All you need is patience, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, guys. I want to talk about something that came up on Discord and kind of sat wrong with me a little bit. And I'm going to just talk about it here. So our comparison to Team 7. Like, yo, listen, I appreciate you guys coming out and calling us Team 7. I'm totally okay with that. But I know he's on here right now. Somebody called me the Sakura of Team 7 here. And I'm not down with that. I know exactly who it was. I'm not down with being called Sakura. I'd rather be Kakashi. I'm okay with being that. But what do you guys think? Like the whole idea of being Sakura from Team 7 kind of irked me a little bit. But you know, Naruto and Sasuke, classy, and Noorret, I think that was pretty bang on. What do you guys think? Should we be a different team, or Team 7 sounds like it was all right?
I don't know. I have no opinion on it. I mean, I did also see that, but I mean, I don't know. I can't categorize myself. What
are you talking about? You asked, does that make me Naruto? You legit, I can see it in text right now. You said, so does that make me Naruto? You were totally hyped about it.
You are Naruto.
You legit, you were so hyped.
That's what they said.
I mean, who doesn't want to be the main character? But whatever. I mean,
wow.
I don't have that ego, like,
we're hosting this shit on your channel going forward. I'm not doing this anymore.
Next video I'm gonna be like, I am Naruto, guys.
Yeah, no. So yeah, no. I thought that was pretty funny, guys. Like whatever you guys classify as, I just hope you guys are just enjoying the content that's being brought out for all three of us. But no, I think that's a pretty thing. And I don't know, Classy. I don't know you in real life. Like your voice comes off, you know, like you've got a lot going on, but you seem like a pretty chill guy. So what do you think about the Sasuke thing?
It's true. Like my voice just sounds deeper on mic. Like it doesn't always sound like this in real life. But as for Sasuke, like people know that I don't really like Sasuke that much, so it's kind of a weird comparison. But
which one? You don't like which one of his 50?
Like pretty much most of them. Like I'm alright with him, but like I'm not a fan necessarily. Mm-hmm. But I think he's a little bit arrogant, and that's something that I try not to be. So I don't think it's a spot-on comparison.
Yeah, all right. Well, you know what? We just wanted to bring that up. Lil Online, I know you're on here. You said thank you very much. You're the one that made this up, so I'm blaming you for this.
So guys, if Pain ever gets mad, you're gonna hear him from very far away coming.
Just got cha.
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what you're. Most likely, my wife actually coming after me. That's probably where you're gonna hear that from. But yeah, so we just want to bring that up, guys, as a quick thing here. And yeah, I don't even know what else we're talking about, guys, at this point. What else do we have on the agenda?
Also, wanted to remind you guys that January, the big hype.
Oh yes.
For the big event coming out.
Yeah.
Collaboration.
Yeah, let me. I guess I can touch on that since I'm hosting it here. So guys, January 10th, we are having huge collaborations. I know you guys have watched the Shiny X Pain Summon collab video. So this is done a little different. If you've watched any of the live collaborations, what I started to do in the beginning was I put together all of the servers that were, I guess, OG servers, and I brought in some of the best players in the world to play and talk about tribes in general. So this is just a reiteration of that, but we're doing a production this time. So there's going to be videos, there's going to be clips, there's going to be more intimate conversations, and we're actually introducing not only tribes players, but we're bringing in a lot of content creators. So Shiny S is going to be there to talk about Blazing and his experience in tribes. The first time ever, Rokage is going to be here as well too, from Croatia. 3:30 a.m. Poor guy. We're chatting with him. He's staying up to do this too. So he and Shiny have never collaborated, covering tribes for 4 years each. So this is their first time collaborating too. So it's kind of a big deal for that alone. And then we have Savage Gamers, who also is a pretty big Naruto guy. He's been doing tribes and other Naruto games too. So we have a couple content creators coming in here. Essentially, what it is, guys, is the reason why I'm bringing it up is if you are a Pain member, in the middle of the broadcast, we're going to be doing a Q&A section specifically for members from Shiny, myself, and Rokage's Discord. And then at the end of the event, we're going to do a full Q&A for the live people and Discord people. So if you're not a member, that's okay. Go onto the main Discord. There is a section called 2020 Wrap-Up, I believe it's called. And you guys can post your questions there. We will be picking the top questions to answer, and we'll be discussing it. Myself, Classy. Classy, I don't know if you're part of that collaboration. Are you? Did I add you to it? You are. Perfect. Okay. I know Noorret's going to be there for sure too. You reached out to me. Yeah, you're there. So, I mean, you're going to have the three of us plus a lot of other people like Blue, who hasn't been on for a while, Shanks, who's actually going to be one of our guests here eventually. And we're going to have other guests showing up to this podcast, guys. It's not just the three of us. But yeah, so we just want to remind you, January 10th, 9:30 p.m. or maybe we'll do 9 p.m. We'll see. One of those two times.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, we can do either or. Exactly. So it'll be myself hosting it. I'll be doing interview style questions like you've seen it before, but we're going to be doing this at the massive scale of all content creators that matter, all the players that matter, and we're going to be doing a complete wrap up of 2020 tribes. And we're going to talk about Blazing Shutdown. We're going to talk about Voltage. We're going to talk about everything. So just want to remind you guys, be there for that. Be a part of it. It's huge. It's a big day for tribes, and we're hoping Bandai sees it. That's kind of the big one there.
Yeah. Also, so now let's talk about. Let's not be so broad with this. Let's kind of like talk about like one thing that we want to see. I'm talking about 2021. What tribes in 2021 is gonna look like? What do you expect? One thing, and what do you want?
Classy, you want to start with this one? I've got a lot to say here, so I'm gonna let you go ahead. Go ahead, Sasuke.
Sure. I'm thinking global release is something that I'm expecting in 2021. Since it's from January all the way to December, so I think sometime within next year we'll have a global release, and with that, probably some super hype banner that will draw more players in now that's gone global. So Madara and Hashirama or something, or
10-10.
KCM Naruto and Renegon Sasuke or something like that.
Yeah. Here's the thing with me and tribes right now. I'm kind of watching where they go from here, because this has been the biggest month tribes has ever had. And the problem was when you introduce something so big and so massive like this New Year's festival and this Rin festival, or Rinna festival, sorry, and you know, if you give free to play characters away like Naruto Santa, you know, and you release Minato, you kind of have to keep that momentum going, right? Because you can't be a one-trick pony. So I know the 1 year anniversary is coming up in March. The biggest thing that's going to matter here, because COVID is still going really strong, a lot of people will have time to be on their phones, and a lot of people will be looking for gacha games to play. Tribes has to bring more fire than they've been bringing, so I don't know if they're going to be able to handle the pressure. So I think personally 2021 is going to start off a little slow till we get to the 1st year anniversary, and then we're going to see a month and a half of pretty insane content and characters, and then we're probably going to go another 6 months before we see global. So the reason why I'm saying this, guys, is because I think as long as COVID is around, they're not going to have the resources to release a global game, because I don't think they have the resources now to do it. I think that's kind of what the problem here is from a technical perspective and from like a salary perspective. I'm thinking business wise here. I don't think Enza and has the manpower to go global, because that means they have to now support every other country, different servers, more capacity, more size, etc. So I don't know if they can handle it. So I don't think we're going to see global until maybe late next year. That's kind of my take on 2021. I think it's going to be fairly slow, then it's going to get big, and then it's going to slow. It's going to be a roller coaster ride for me, I think.
I think that when the Rena Festival's over, we're all going to hit this wall of not having enough resources again, and that's going to cause a big drop-off for a month or so. But that's if they don't introduce monthly events, because we're spoiled right now. We're really spoiled, and the whole withdrawal thing was not a joke. Like, a lot of people, I hope you guys start saving, because you only have 5 days left. So I really hope you start saving, because it's going to be a big change. For any new players who started this month, you do not get this much resources on a normal day. So start saving, because you're going to need that in the future.
Yeah, and I agree. And 2021 is, I mean, it's an unknown year for the whole world right now, like where we stand in terms of like society. And I think Tribes is going to sit in that same category. Like, this is the first time they've introduced something so drastic and so big. So if there was a trend that we could follow, it'd be fantastic. I'd be able to be, this is what's coming out next. But this, because of how big this event has been, and this is the first time we're actually hitting New Year's in this game, right? We've never done Christmas and New Year's, because it only came out in March of last year, or this year, sorry. So we don't know like what New Year's itself is going to look like. We just know what March from the beginning looked like, and we don't know what the first anniversary is going to look like. Those are the two big ones to me. So it really is going to fall down to, how do you handle the next banner? And I think that's a big one, guys. The next banner is going to matter a lot. If you bring out like nobody characters, that's going to be a big hit to this game.
I have no idea what they're going to do. I've been trying to think about it. I really have no idea what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It's in like 4 days, right?
It's in 4 days. Yeah, it's in 4 days.
I have no idea. I really have been trying to wrap my head around like what they're going to do.
So I was thinking some 2 characters that are pretty hype, just because a lot of people got baited recently through all these recent banners. So imagine if they dropped like another banner full of good characters or hype characters. That'd probably be the end of us. Like, we would have no more money after that.
Yeah.
Some people would move up a bracket in the whale list, right?
Yeah. And that's another thing I want to bring up. Like, they need to freaking bring out Blessing, man. Bring out Blessing. Like, how many more months can we wait for another Blessing level to come out? Like, just 15 was capped. A lot of us are saving, especially whales. We're saving an insane amount of points to put towards something, and a lot of us are going to probably hit the max right from the get-go. So like, can you just bring out Blessing? I hope that's a New Year's thing. For me, I think that's the most wanted thing for me right now is new Blessing levels. Content, I'm okay with content right now. It's kind of hitting me in the right stride at the moment. I'm good with FG and Abyss, good with all the characters that are coming out. ATB comes out once in a while. I'm great with those. I mean, one extra piece of content would be fantastic, obviously. Fix PvP a bit. But my biggest issue right now in Gripe is Blessings. Like, from the veteran players who have been playing from day one, a lot of us are level 15 already, and we're just collecting the same thing, and we're accruing, and at this point, I'm just like, yo, you raised the level cap to 105. Give us a couple Blessing levels. Like, there's no harm in it.
Yeah, as a whale, basically, what we're saying by give us more Blessing is, please unlock more levels so I could spend more money.
Pretty much.
Basically, that's what we're saying.
Pretty much. And I think a lot of the community feels that way as well, too.
Yeah, so let's talk about another thing we need to talk about is we're going to talk about the Reddit, the NXB Tribes Reddit, and the Discord. What do you guys feel about either or of the communities?
So here's the thing. When I first started this game back in March, I was a free-to-play player at the time because I got I was into 7DS, so 7 Deadly Sins, and I was whaling there, right? So I sold my account, got too grindy, I came here, and the first place I went to was not, I didn't go to Discord, I went straight to Reddit, like a fool. And I got I got the information that the best thing in the game going was Kakashi and Guy's 2-man tribe. That's the first piece of advice. So what did I do? I went in, I wailed here, I got awakening orbs, I put it into Guy instead of Kakashi because, you know, at the time, Guy was a higher star character at the time for me. So I put in an obscene hail. Actually, let me show you what I wasted when I first started this game. So for all those people who are starting this game and being like, oh my god, thank you for helping us and steering us away from the bad path, I didn't have that. I had this instead. So watch this. I'm going to go into Guy here. Like, look at the awakening orbs that I spent on this guy. Look, 3 there. Like, you know how much that was back in the day? It was a lot. I don't think I got any of these, but that 3 there was all I had. So, like, I didn't know what I was doing. So, for me, Reddit was a place that didn't know what it was talking about. It was a place that people were just asking questions, right? So, when I got into Discord, on the other hand, though, I got made fun of for having a 5-star Kirin as my first UR. So, that was kind of funny. But at the same time, I noticed that Discord was a better place for knowledge, but it also was a place for a lot more arrogance. That has changed a lot since then, right? Now I'm finding that it's become a more chill vibe. Everyone's there to help everybody, you know, but Discord has changed leaps and bounds. But I find Reddit is still kind of in the same area where it's still becoming a hub for information that people are looking for. So I've been imploring people, I post a lot of my videos on Reddit. I've been imploring a lot of people to go onto the main Discord and join it, because the more people join Discord, the more knowledge gets out, and proper knowledge, not misinformation that's been happening on Reddit. So that's my opinion on Reddit and Discord. Join Discord, essentially.
Mm-hmm. I also, same thing, I started on Reddit because I wanted to know who was good or not, and it is a lot of misinformation because anyone can post over there. But I think that's also a problem because of the fact that there's not many users on the Reddit page, so you can't really, like, for instance, if you look at the top post, it's all like 3 comments, 5 likes, so it's not many people. So the people who do look at it might not be the best informed. So the Discord is the place to be right now. I mean, as someone who has been on the Discord for a long time, I never really spoke on it because there was a big issue, like, in the beginning with, like, a lot of, like, toxicity, but it's so much better now. Like, I go in there and I pop in sometimes and I talk, but it is so much better now, and I definitely recommend it. If you're not in there, you should join it. Shout out to all the people who put memes, and they make memes, because I've been scouring those pages lately and I've been dying.
Yeah, there's a couple of good ones. A couple of me, actually, that I kind of had to laugh at myself for them.
Yeah, shout out to you guys with those memes. I have a video coming on that too, so you guys know.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Classy, I mean, you're a big part of Discord, right? Have you ever scoured Reddit?
Yeah, so you guys probably know that I'm a moderator now. I think I've had a really long history with the Discord, so I'm happy to share my experience. I basically joined the Discord right after I looked at the Reddit, because I noticed that the Reddit was not very active, so it definitely would be nice if Reddit got more active. It's definitely better now, but I feel like it could be even more, especially with all those people in it. And the Discord, I think my first ever message was in team building, which is kind of ironic. I think I talked to Zareth and Minato, and they were definitely really helpful on my first day, so I'm glad to have a good experience, but I feel like for the Discord, sometimes there can be some arrogance issues, like you said. Like, if people haven't heard of your server, or they think it's inactive, you might get a different treatment, and I feel like that's just not how you should treat people. Like, it's literally the same game, it's just a different server. So that's something I would like to see in the future, and that I will keep an eye out for.
Yeah, and as yeah, sorry, go ahead.
More people on the Reddit too.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, there are people that do both, right? Like, there are people that go back and forth. And, like, I post my videos on Reddit. A lot of people watch it and they thank me for it. And they're getting the proper knowledge here and there from it. But it's different than talking to somebody live in a chat versus watching a video and then trying to remember everything. So that's why the whole Reddit situation is so important to jump onto Discord as well, too. And Classy, you brought up a good point. The arrogance from different servers is crazy. And with that way, I want to actually segue to something, guys. Successful alliances, right? Like, I know that we all are part of some successful alliances here, but there are some alliances that are sitting, that are dead in the water, and that are not being, active, etc. And they're just clogging up servers. And I'm seeing people on server 1 create brand new alliances, and I'm just scratching my head. Like, why would you not just join an existing alliance that needs help? So, like, what do you guys think? Like, what makes a successful alliance? Like, why are people creating new ones? Like, what the hell's going on here?
I think there's always the people who create their own alliances, like, for instance, by themselves. I think it's that greed factor of wanting to have their own name and stuff. But also, maybe they could also be from the fact that they were in an alliance. And because from personal experience, when I first started, I was in an alliance. I joined one, and this is back when it was a 24-hour wait. It wasn't at reset.
Right.
I joined an alliance, and everyone was AFK.
Yeah.
I left, waited 24 hours, joined another alliance, and that was full of AFKs. I quit, made my own, and then I finally got to get into an alliance that wasn't full of dead accounts.
Yeah, and
that frustration can cause you to, because if you don't, cause this is before also server chat and stuff like that where you could advertise, but that frustration can cause people to make their own alliance because they're tired of this.
Yeah, not to mention the whole like how to look for an alliance. Like, what a weird system. Like, you have to click the proper boxes to find an alliance first off. So that alone to me is broken. Just show all the alliances. Just be like, here's all the alliance list. Pick one. If they choose you, they choose you. If they don't, they don't. I mean, that's like, it's just obscene the way they've built this process of looking for an alliance. So a lot of new players get frustrated with that. I can definitely see that. But at the same time, then with that system, they need to rehaul it at least, so it makes it more player friendly for new people, especially that don't even understand how to use the interface.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the alliance and the introduction of alliance chat was one of the best things that happened with this game, because it allowed people to connect with each other, and I feel like the game would be boring if you didn't have your alliance to talk to every day. I know we have a lot of Discord servers for each alliance, and people have a lot of nice connections there and make a lot of friends, even if you can't speak to each other in real life. So especially during COVID-19, it's a good place to connect with people.
Yeah, I think for a successful alliance, you guys need to establish a communication, because first off, the in-game chat, while it is a great addition to the game, so you could have some basic functionality, they censor way too many words. I think the best thing you guys can do if you have an alliance is make your own Discord, where you guys can talk, and because that's what I do. I mean, I think for ATB we had a very good system where we had everyone's time zones. Every single player had their time zone, so we knew what was better for everyone. We talked about what character. It's so much easier to get things sorted on your own Discord, and it really helps if you have a dedicated, group of people who all chat. Shout out to Kage 8 members. You guys are great.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And I you know what, I don't normally, shout out to ISC, of course. I represent ISC. I'm from ISC. You guys know my intro already. It's been, every video has it. But
say it one time first, please.
No, I'm good. We'll keep that away. But at the same time, I will give a shout out to another alliance and other alliances that are like this, like Kage, for example. Like, for example, I want to bring up Mythic. So I'm part of the Mythic server in terms of just being there as a public chat. So Mythic has grown into a giant server in its own right, and has become very family oriented. So for new players who are looking for a home to learn, if Tribes, the main Discord, is too much, there are other alliances taking players in. So Mythic is a great example of one that takes any player in. You can be part of the public chat. You can learn from there. So big ups to people like Mythic and alliances like Mythic. This is the only game I know, honestly, and I played a lot of gacha games, where all the alliances that are big alliances are not greedy about who they let in. They want a knowledge base. They want to grow, not just from Tribes, but they want to be like a gaming community. And that's the kind of vibe that Tribes has that I love about it. The community itself is just probably the best community I've probably ever been a part of. Hence why I don't mind doing as much content and whaling as I do, because it's just such a cool place to be, right? In terms of just virtual people that you want to get to know. So like, big ups to alliances. And I think that's what makes a successful alliance in my eyes, is people who bring in other people and build a family in a game, rather than just treat them as just any random people who just click a button.
Shout out to Karma in the chat, because I just read him saying your intro and I heard it in your voice.
Actually, shout out to Karma for doing most of my intros. I miss you, buddy. He's been on a little boycott lately because of his life. He's got holiday work going on, so I miss him for my intros. So you guys are looking at second rate intros, unfortunately. So shout out to my boy Karma. He actually, when I first met him, quick thing about Karma, he actually recited that word for word. So it kind of humbled me and made me see that there are people that care about people's people's content. So shout out to my boy Karma. Thank you for everything that you do for the community and for me. And MRN, he's not on, he's sleeping. But yes, people like that make the difference, right? So, but with that being said, guys, I think we're over the time limit. So why don't we, because these people joined us to watch, you guys want to do a Q&A?
Yeah, we can do a short one.
Okay. Okay. So guys, the way we're going to handle this Q&A is you can ask the questions. At the same time, though, make sure that you bring us topics that you want us to cover. If we see some good topics, we'll take them on board, and then the next live session we'll actually bring up your topic. We can give you a shout out, and you can actually end up having your topic talked about. So So let's start up with that. So any topics, Q&As, guys, we'll try our best to get through everything. This is the time for you guys to ask any questions. Feel free to do so. Could be game related, could be about us.
Yeah, shoot any questions you want.
Anything.
Except my social.
Yeah, you're not getting things. Yeah, just because you shoot questions doesn't mean you're going to be getting answers. So let's just get that straight. But yeah.
Kobe said, can I be a part of Mythic?
Yeah, you can definitely be a part of Mythic. Yep. I don't know. Let me see. I can get you the Discord information. I know Shanks had already given me the approval to do that, so you can apply. I think if Epix is on here, he is part of that alliance, so he can actually also do it. But I'm not sure if he's on. He's one of my mods. He might not be on.
Hayne, Karma's really, really interested in knowing what you wake up with and how you wake up every morning.
Oh, did he bring up the wood thing again?
Yep, yeah, he really wants to know. This is the third time I see this question. I think the community deserves to know.
I'm too old for that, guys. I'm too old to be waking up with wood. No, it doesn't happen. So unfortunately, sorry. I'm just an old man waking up, rolling over bed, looking at his phone, being like, how many damn comments do I have today? And I answer all your comments. And gladly, by the way. I do it with pleasure. I try my best to handle it. And by pleasure, I mean not that kind of pleasure. We're talking about just wanting to do it. But yeah, that's no morning wood for me. Too old for that, guys. If you're young, though, all the big ups to you. Apparently, it's a really healthy thing to wake up with.
Yeah, you wake up and you're like a top.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wait, there's a lot of questions now. So
Yeah. Palamon Lopez, what character do I want to see? 1010.
Can you go through that again, because we have a 1010. What 1010 do you want to see?
Oh, that 1010. I need a 1010 who goes to the hair salon.
Hair
hair down 1010. That's it. That's all I want.
Hair down 1010. That's what she's got to be called too. Her special, she just hits you with her hair. You'll be happy.
Yeah, not even. She has her hair up and she puts it down. That's it. She gets buffed. That's it. It's a buff.
Yeah, it's a buff. That's actually pretty good. Classy, you have any characters that you really want to see? You Shikamaru, I'm assuming.
So remember when they released UR Hidan and Kakuzu?
Yeah.
They released the UR Shikamaru.
Yeah, you were super excited about that.
That should have been it, because he was a different person when he refought them. So
Yeah, he was.
You guys, and MRN, you and Classy both. When he saw that you had your Shikamaru as your logo, he was so happy. He was like, I think he might have woken up with morning wood, but it was like afternoon wood at that point. So yeah, I get it. I get what you guys saying about Shikamaru. He's actually one of the coolest characters still to date. For me personally, I've always said this. I want to see a double eye Sharingan Kakashi. So that to me is the character that I want to see released. But at the same time, there are so many good characters out there. Like, I'm actually very excited for Mai to come out. Like all the Kages that we don't have yet, I'm very excited for those. And honestly, like, I don't know. There's just so many characters, but that probably been my number one.
So another question from Mad Lad is, so would you say it's a good idea to skip a character's debut banner and wait for them to reappear?
100%.
There's another question by Kaio of how do you get units to 5 stars quickly. I can answer both really quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
One, it's always good to get, if a character's really good and he's a really good character and he's been like reviewed by multiple people. He's really good to get on day one, specifically because with the extra shards that you get every day by doing Abyss and Flashback genealogy, you can get them to 5-star guaranteed on day. If you get them on day one, that's how we get 5-star URs.
Yeah, to that point though, I'm going to give just a counter argument on that one here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So no, I agree with you there. If the character's really good, definitely do what you're saying. If you're a brand new player though, guys, here's the thing. As a brand new player, and I said this in my new player guide that I've created, and I always tell people go watch it for a reason, because a lot of people are invested in getting URs right away as a brand new player. URs as a brand new player, all you're gonna think about is how do I get more stars and how do I awaken this character? You can't. As a new player, your main focus should only be get your rank up in your account, start getting your SR characters and rares up so they can beat content, you can get further, and then you start collecting UR coins. Okay, that's fragments. Sorry, that is how you play as a free-to-play player. Your biggest thing really in tribes isn't the feature banners that are 0.4% or 0.6%. It's your extra fragment banners that are 1% or 1.2%. Those are the ones that are really going to get you what you want with less amount of coins spent, and then you use your UR frags to get those characters up. So you have to be patient, right? And I always say this is a quote I've said from day one, and I know Zal loves to use it. This game is not a sprint, it's a marathon. right? So if you're sprinting the entire time, you're gonna fall face first, and you're gonna be like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna quit tribes. So as a free-to-play player specifically, from a whale, I'm telling you this now, and I play both. As a free-to-play player, your smartest thing to do is if you're obsessed with a character, then yes, pull like Noorret said, pull on a banner when it comes out so you can level them up. But you're not going to get very far. So my suggestion is wait for the extra banner a month and a half, save your Shino coins, pull for that character at a double rate, and then use your UR fragments that you've earned and get that character to 5 stars. That's my suggestion on it.
Ooh, I see something interesting. So people are changing us to Team 10. With Pain as Eno, Noorret as Choji.
Wow, y'all just giving me girl characters. All right, I see how this is. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take whatever you guys throw at me. It's what I'm known to do anyway, so I'll take it.
Like Choji.
Why? Is it because he eats potato chips?
Butterfly.
Yeah, you prefer Naruto, obviously, right? You didn't care originally, though.
Choji's like, no, because Choji's, I don't know. He eats chips and he turns into a butterfly when
Yo, that's not a bad thing. At least he does that. I don't have the right parts to be the other character personally. So let's go through some more questions, guys. What are the best characters to work on, guys? Questions like what are the best characters? Who are the best characters? There's a tier list on my channel. There's a tier list on Reddit. Shout out to Minato for helping to create that. Go ahead and watch those. It'll tell you every character you need to know about up to this point, except for Minato, which I've already said was SS. So yeah, those questions we're gonna disregard. Okay.
I saw a bunch of people ask 2 things. First, what event would we like to see? And second, what do we think the next banner is?
Sorry, what was the first part of that question, Classy?
What event do you want to see?
I want to see Tailed Beast Alliance Wars. That is the biggest thing to me, guys. Like, I've been dying for a reason to actually team up with other alliances on our servers. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm not saying you compete against the other members. You actually team up with people on your servers and you fight Tailed Beast. And by doing that, it's a great way to see what server is the best server in tribes. By the total accumulation of every alliance in that server working together to beat that event. I think that would be the most promising thing that tribes could possibly do for this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really like the idea of combining servers so you get to meet more people. And I think everyone knows what event I would like to see. The PvP draft mode, so people can actually test their knowledge instead of how much they've spent into the game.
Yep.
I think the best thing for the future of this game is server merging that they could do. They could do a server merge and they could get rid of some of the dead accounts because they're definitely going to need to do that for the future because there's a lot of servers with a ton of dead accounts. So merging for servers would be optimal and great for everyone in the future.
Yep. Agreed with that too. There's a question here. Should they change the summoning? So I want to bring this one up real quick, guys, because I know this is something that we've talked about a lot in tribes in general because of how bad the rates are. If you look at the history of Bandai, every game that they've ever released has had this kind of rate. So Dokkan had this kind of rates in the beginning. Voltage had this bad rates in the beginning. Those games now are 5 to 6 years old. I think Voltage maybe 4 years old. This game is not even a year old. So will the rates change? Most likely. And that's why they introduced the extra fragment banners. And this is why I'm referring to it previously. Is the reason why it exists is so you don't get shafted as hard, right? You may still get shafted, but at least you have a double % chance to get lubed up first. So that's why I think this game will not change it until it goes global and until it has a few years under its belt. Because at the end of the day, people are still spending. Right? People are still spending this ludicrous amount of money to get these characters at these low rates. So why, as a business, are they going to change it if the player base is so small and most of the player base is loyal and staying? That's my take on it.
I think it'll get fixed. I think it'll get fixed in the future. I mean, they're definitely not going to keep it this way forever. Every game has been this way, like Ping said. They're going to add it eventually. Our tiers are going to eventually satiate their appetite. So I think they'll definitely fix it.
So, do you guys want to go over final predictions for 4-day?
Our unit wants and predictions.
Yeah, for the next banner.
Okay. Payne, do you want to start?
Sure. I can start this off. I think it's going to be Boruto characters personally.
Mm-hmm. Any specific one? Do you think?
I think we're going to see another Papa Sasuke. I think it's about time we see another Papa Sasuke. One that actually is viable. And I think we're going to see another Mitsuki. Or we will see another Orochimaru and Mitsuki, but from the Boruto world. So I think it's about time we get a Sage Mode Mitsuki that's a UR, and I hope we get an SR version of Orochimaru, because the last one was a UR. So I'm seeing either Orochimaru or a new Papa Sasuke who's a SR, and I'm seeing Mitsuki Sage Mode as a UR.
Classy, yourself.
I'm going to take a safe guess here. I think we're going to go into the Kage Summit stuff, so probably Main or Noki. I think a lot of people have been saying that. And maybe even Taka Sasuke with Amaterasu. And I'm expecting something broken for that one.
Nice. I have a little bit more rare unit, kind of, I think if you guys go way back into Naruto, the original series, do you guys remember that ostrich shinobi? His name was Condor. Yeah, I hope he comes out. I love that guy.
Condor in 1010.
Condor, I do remember that actually.
Condor, yeah, he was the best filler character ever.
Yeah, I could see that happening. That'd be kind of fun. A lot of people also want the ramen guy. What's his name? Tucci? I forgot his name. Who's the ramen guy? What's his name?
Yeah, Tushi.
Tucci, right?
Tucci,
Yeah. Everybody wants him as well,
Some
too.
art units, man. I'd be pretty hyped for just like if they release a bunch of art units. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I honestly would be down for that. All right, guys. So this is going to be the last question. But before we go through that, we have members here. Also, part of their perks is they get their questions answered no matter what. So I'm going to go up real quick and look at some of the questions from the members, and then we'll wrap it up here. Okay, guys? So
Gotcha.
Just give me a second here. Anybody with a green name? Tyree, thank you for donating, buddy. Painblade, does your turtle have a sweater? That's a freaking amazing. You're a weird dude sometimes. I'm not even going to answer that.
And I was like, I'm not going to touch that.
Who else do we have here? Favorite food. So Bob Zella's asking favorite food. Pizza, sushi. I'm not big on carbs though, so those are my favorite cheat meals. Honestly, my favorite food is probably my wife's. Oddly enough, my wife's vegetarian quesadilla. She makes a bomb ass quesadilla. It's really weird. She just started doing it recently, and I'm just like, yo, I love this. So pretty simple thing. We like to go eat out a lot, but nowadays, because everything's closed down, we're kind of just doing skip the dishes and ordering food in and trying to work it all off at the same time. So yeah, sushi and pizza.
Classy, what's your favorite food?
Ramen.
Yo,
Ramen.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, because there's so many types of ramen around me. I have so many different ones. Ramen is also my favorite.
It's also so convenient.
Yeah.
Ramen, you guys are living that Naruto life, aren't you? Like you guys are role playing, cosplaying. What's going on here? You guys dressed up right now? Or should I be dressed up? Like what's happening?
So many. I have like the store around my house that has like a whole aisle of ramen. So it's like I can go there and be like, what do I feel like having today?
Let's go through. Hold on here. Let's go through some. So we answered, guys. We answered the questions already. So let's go through some topics. Let's take 3 minutes, guys. Throw in some topics you guys want us to talk about on the next one. It'll be an edited version. We'll try to bring it up for you. So go ahead and throw them in now. No more questions, just topics, and we'll see if we like any, and we'll give you a shout out if we do, and we'll talk about it. So I'm giving you guys 3 minutes. Type it in. Use those fingers. I know y'all can type.
While we wait, do you guys want to talk about any videos you guys have coming out this week?
Yeah, sure. I have.
Hype them up?
Yeah, I can do that. Actually, Classy, go ahead first. I'll let you do yours. Do you know what you know what you're doing next?
Yeah, I'm doing a collab with Minato for Minato.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
I feel like that makes sense because everyone knows Minato as like the guy who likes Minato.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah, who would have thought, with that name? Yeah, so I've got a lot coming out here, guys. So we're gonna do for the first ever 3-man versus characters. So you guys know how I do my comparisons when a banner comes out. So it's like, for example, Degar versus Danzo, Sasuke versus Itachi. This time we're going to be doing Obito versus Kakashi versus Minato. So we're going to do a 3-way match in this one. So I'll tell you who the best character is out of those 3, and I'll explain the artwork, etc. Tomorrow I'm actually going to be dropping a video on who you should awaken as your first UR. I did this back in the day when the power creeps were not around, but now I'm getting a ton of questions of who the first UR should be. So I'm going to be doing that video as well to tell you guys who you should max out in terms of your awakenings for URs and which hierarchy you should go in terms of like who's the first to the last. So that video is dropping tomorrow. And I'm also going to be doing the Minato showcase. So I have a 5-star Minato right now with 70k, and I'll be doing an arena showcase plus PvE showcase on that as well too. So that is coming probably very soon.
Yeah, I got 2 videos coming out sometime this week. I'm going to try to release one in a couple of hours.
It's just I'm not the serious content poster like these two guys. So my videos are more going to be joking stuff with the community. So if you want information, definitely go to Pain and Classy. But my stuff, it's a little more on the joking side. If you haven't figured.
Eat that.
Yeah, and another thing I actually wanted to say here, guys. So with every live event that I have with any new banners, remember when a new banner drops, I have 3 videos usually that come out that day. The live event one is the big one. So at 9:30 every time I talk about the character. And so please join in on that. And also, guys, give these two guys a sub. Like, they deserve it. They're obviously here taking their time to talk to you guys, and we're all hosting. We're doing this together. So Classy is a great name for you, by the way. Classy gentleman, and he's been doing a lot of work for the community, and he's trying to grow his channel. So honestly, guys, give the dude a sub. He is in my description. Same with Noorret. He's gonna be doing some content that nobody else is doing out there. So definitely give him a sub as well too, because I'm not just bigging these guys up. I don't know these guys outside of my interactions with them here and on Discord, but from just talking to them from the little time I have, you guys are gentlemen and scholars, and I appreciate you guys being on here.
Yeah, and Classy has a fedora on his Y, and that's why I like it.
All right.
Thanks, Scott.
No problem. All right, so everybody here, guys, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Because if you guys are looking for the next live event, it'll be 2 weeks from now, right, guys? I think we're doing 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now. So let's check the date on that. I'll check. It's probably going to be the 9th. Wait, so yeah, the day before the big collab.
Right. So here's what I'm going to say because of that right there. So this one is going to be postponed, guys, because the big collab is coming up. We're going to be on the collab anyways. So you're going to get that. You're going to get that there. So the next in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing the collab instead. So join us for that. It's going to be massive, massive, massive.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, let's do that. And also, guys, for face reveal, a lot of you guys have been asking to do a face reveal. I will do a face reveal. I've actually set up a camera here in my room with the proper lighting and everything. So a face reveal will happen eventually. I'm going to probably save it to either that event or the event after, so I don't mess that up at all. And I've also shaved now finally because I was growing a COVID beard and it doesn't look good. Somebody actually, oddly enough, pointed that out yesterday. It was like 103, he scratches his beard. We know he has a beard. I'm like, yo, that's stalker style right there. But yeah, so for the mic, exactly. So yes, I'll be doing a face reveal in 2021 for sure, guys. So, and I'll be doing those videos more often. I'm just trying to figure out how to do a green screen of myself in the actual video. So if anybody knows that, give me a shout. If you two know that, give me a shout, and we'll get that going.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks. It's the first live one, and it was pretty fun. A lot of fun reading your comments, trying to hold in the laughter and your weird questions with Pain. It was pretty hysterical.
I get those a lot. Trust me. I go home with nightmares. I go to sleep with nightmares with these guys. But no, I love everybody here, guys. Thank you so much for coming out, as Noorret said. Thank you on my behalf and joining us here. What are the other guys? YouTubers? Yeah, go into Kobe. Go into my description. Both of their links are there. Go in there and give them a drop and a sub and a notification. They do content often enough.
Yeah, a little bit later on tonight, hopefully I'll have that video out. I just need one little thing from someone. I'm not gonna say who. It's a special surprise.
All right, guys. Classy, you have any words before we drop off?
Yeah, thanks for stopping by and listening to us, and feel free to talk to me on the main cord. I'm on there a lot. So.
If you're looking, sorry, Kobe can't find us. Okay, one sec, guys. Do you have a Discord? Yes, I have a Discord. It's a paid membership, though, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, too. My members are doing great. But anyways, outside the point, I do have a main Discord. There is the main Discord channel. There's my Discord. I'll make sure the descriptions are updated, guys, if you can't see it. So just hold tight. I'll go update that video as soon as I can. But they should be there. I think, if not, I'll definitely add it in.
Oh, it's there. It's there. I see it.
You see it? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay. All right, guys, this is Pain. Thank you guys for joining on behalf of Noorret and Classy and myself. Have a wonderful night, everybody. We'll see you guys in a week on an edited version with more topics, and we'll see you guys in the big, massive collaboration event on January the 10th. I'll be posting a live reminder for everybody, so please remind yourselves by clicking on the reminder button, and we'll see you guys there. Have a great night.
See you guys.